The giant ship appeared in the sky on a Tuesday morning. It hung over New York like a dark cloud. People stopped and stared. Cars stopped. The whole world watched on screens. Dr. Kim Jun fixed his tie and took a deep breath. At 42 years old, he never thought he would be the first human to meet aliens. He was just a language expert who worked for the United Nations. "Are you ready, Dr. Kim?" asked the president on the video screen. "Yes, Madam President," Kim said, though his dry mouth said otherwise. The ship had sent a message in perfect English. "We come in peace. Send one representative to Central Park." Now Kim stood in the empty park, surrounded by military troops hiding behind trees and buildings. The aliens had agreed to this setup. They seemed very relaxed about everything. A beam of blue light shot down from the ship. When it vanished, 3 tall figures stood on the grass. They had bluish skin, 4 arms each, and large eyes that blinked sideways. "I am Ambassador Voxer of the Teresian Empire," said the tallest one. Its voice sounded like music. "We represent the Galactic Council. We have come to welcome Earth to the galactic community." Kim bowed slightly. "I am Dr. Kim Jun of Earth. We are honored by your visit." Ambassador Voxer looked down at Kim. All 3 aliens were at least 7 feet tall. "So small," said one of the other aliens in a whisper that Kim still heard. Voxer smiled. "We have watched your planet for some time. Your achievements are interesting for such a young species." The way Voxer said interesting made Kim feel like the alien really meant pathetic. "We would like to learn about your civilization," Kim said. "Of course," Voxer replied. "But first, we want to see your leaders and your technology. We need to assess your development level." Over the next week, the aliens met with world leaders. They saw factories, power plants, and research labs. Kim went with them everywhere. He noticed how they smiled at each other when they saw Earth's best technology. "You still use combustion engines?" asked Voxer, looking at a new car model. "And your medical technology, you still have diseases?" asked another alien named Lux. At the United Nations, Voxer finally made their offer. "The galaxy is dangerous," Voxer told the gathered leaders. "Many predator species would see your planet as easy prey. Your weapons and ships could not stop them." Images appeared showing strange ships and creatures that looked like nightmares. "But the Teresian Empire offers protection to developing worlds like yours," Voxer continued. "We will share some basic technology. We will keep dangerous aliens away. In exchange, we need only some of your resources, metals, minerals, and water that your planet has in abundance." Kim watched the faces of Earth's leaders. Some looked relieved at the offer of protection. Others looked suspicious. "What specific resources do you require?" asked the German Chancellor. "And what technology will you share?" asked the Chinese president. Voxer waved one of his 4 hands. "Details can be worked out later. The important thing is to establish our protective relationship quickly, for your safety." After the meeting, Kim rode in a car with the U.S. president. "What do you think, Dr. Kim?" she asked. "You've spent the most time with them." Kim chose his words carefully. "They are advanced, no question. But they see us as children, maybe even as pets. I don't think they respect us." The president nodded. "I noticed that too. They talk about protection, but it sounds like control." Kim looked out the window at the alien ship still hovering above the city. "There's something else," he said. "When they showed us those dangerous aliens, I watched Ambassador Voxer's eyes. He wasn't scared of them. It was like showing pictures of wolves to sell someone a security system. You think they're lying about the threats?" "I think," Kim said slowly, "that they might be the real threat. But we need to know more before we can be sure." The president looked grim. "Then we'll give them what they expect, a planet of simple, grateful humans. Meanwhile, we'll learn everything we can about our new protectors." Kim nodded. The aliens thought humans were weak and primitive. For now, It was better to let them think that. 3 months after the aliens arrived, Earth signed a protection agreement with the Teresian Empire. Most world leaders voted yes, even though some had doubts. Captain Park Sang stood in front of the mirror and adjusted his new uniform. The patch on his shoulder showed Earth's flag next to the symbol of the Galactic Council. He was 34 years old, had served in the Korean Navy, and now he would be the first human military officer to visit the Council's space station. "Captain Park, the ship is ready," said his assistant through the door. The Teresian ship was huge and sleek. Inside, it looked like a fancy hotel with strange plants and flowing water. 5 other humans were on this trip, scientists and diplomats. Park was the only soldier. "Please stay seated during jump," said a Teresian crew member. She looked at the humans like they were children who might break something. The ship moved so smoothly that Park barely felt it leave Earth. Then the stars outside the window stretched into lines, and his stomach flipped as they entered what the aliens called fold space. When they arrived at the station days later, Park's jaw dropped. It was like a metal city floating in space, with thousands of ships coming and going. Rings spun around a central tower that was taller than any building on Earth. "Impressive, isn't it?" Ambassador Voxer said, watching Park's face. "This is just a small outpost. The main council station is 100 times larger." Park nodded. "It's amazing," he admitted. As they walked through the station, Park noticed many different alien species. Some had tentacles, others had wings. Some were tiny, others huge. They all stared at the humans. "Look at those primitives," whispered a tall, insect-like alien as they passed. "I heard they still fight wars with chemical explosives," said another with amusement. "And they only live 100 years, laughed a third. Park kept his face blank, but he remembered every word. The humans were given small rooms and told to rest before meeting the council the next day. Unable to sleep, Park went to a viewing area that looked out at the stars. The small alien with golden skin was already there. "You're from Earth," she said. It wasn't a question. "Yes," Captain Park sang. "I am Nilara, from Doros." She was only 4 feet tall, with large eyes that reflected the starlight. "My people joined the council 200 years ago." "Are you a diplomat?" Park asked. Nilara made a sound like bells, her version of laughter. "No, I'm a historian. I study how species join the council, and what happens to them." Park looked around to make sure they were alone. "And what happens to them?" Nilara's large eyes blinked slowly. "The Teresians always find the same type of planets, rich in resources but less advanced in space travel. They offer protection. Then they take what they want." "That sounds like what they're doing to Earth," Park said quietly. "It is exactly what they're doing," Nilara confirmed. "My planet was also protected by them. Now many of our best mining areas are empty, and we depend on council trade to survive." Park leaned against the window. "Why are you telling me this?" "Because your planet might be different." Nilara moved closer. "The Teresians think humans are simple and weak. But I studied your history. You survived ice ages and plagues. You split the atom. You are young as a space-faring species, but ancient as survivors." "What should we do?" Park asked. "Be careful. Learn everything you can. Make allies." Nilara looked over her shoulder. "And don't show your true strength until the right moment." The next day, the humans met the council. 12 alien leaders sat in high chairs looking down at them. The Teresian representative spoke first. "We have brought these humans to observe our ways. They are new to the galaxy and in need of guidance." Park watched as the diplomats presented Earth's case for trade and technology exchange. Some council members seemed interested, others bored. But all of them had the same look in their eyes, the look adults give to children who are trying to join a grown-up conversation. "We will consider limited technology sharing," said the council leader finally. "Under Teresian supervision, of course." As they left the chamber, Park caught Nilara's eye from across the room. She gave him a small nod. Park understood her message. The aliens thought humans were weak. For now, let them think that. Li Hun sat in the dark basement of the old library. At 56 years old, he had spent his life studying wars. Now, as Earth's top military historian, he had a new job: study alien wars. The Teresians had given humans access to some basic history files. They thought they were being generous by sharing simple information. But Li was good at finding patterns in history. Very good. For 3 weeks, he had barely slept. His eyes were red, and coffee cups covered his desk. But now he had found something important. "Dr. Kim," Li said into his secure phone, "I need to meet you. Today." 4 hours later, Dr. Kim Jun sat across from Li in a small room with no windows. The walls blocked all signals. No one could listen to them here. "What did you find?" Kim asked. Li pushed a tablet across the table. "Look at these dates and star maps." Kim studied the screen. "I don't understand. According to Teresian records, Earth was discovered just 6 months ago," Li explained. "But I found older records, much older." Li touched the screen, and a new image appeared. It showed Earth, but from 15,000 years ago. Aliens visited Earth before. Kim was shocked. Not just visited. They watched us. And then, Li paused, they put a warning beacon around our solar system. A warning? Why? Li showed Kim a translated alien report. It was hard to understand, but certain phrases stood out. Dangerous predator species. Unpredictable violence. Quarantine recommended. They saw early humans hunting. They saw our wars. And they were afraid, Li said. They marked our solar system as dangerous and left. Kim sat back. But the quarantine ended. The Teresians found us. The quarantine didn't end. It was forgotten, Li explained. It happened so long ago that most records were lost. The Teresians probably found old star maps, saw a habitable planet with no recent reports, and came to look. "This changes everything," Kim whispered. "They don't know we were quarantined. They don't know why." "Exactly," Li nodded. "And there's more." At that moment, there was a knock at the door. Li quickly turned off the tablet. A woman entered. She was in her 30s with short black hair and quick eyes. "Sorry I'm late," she said. "Dr. Kim, this is Engineer Choi Min." Li introduced them. "She works in weapons development." Kim looked surprised. "This meeting is secret." "She needs to hear this too," Li insisted. Choi sat down. "While you've been playing diplomat, some of us have been studying alien technology. And I've found something strange." "What?" asked Kim. "Gaps," she said simply. "The Teresians are advanced in space travel, energy production, and medicine. But their weapons technology is odd." "Odd how?" Kim leaned forward. "They never developed certain things we take for granted," Choi explained. "Their ships have no protection against electromagnetic pulses. Their armor can't stop depleted uranium rounds. They have no concept of certain types of stealth technology." Li nodded. "That matches what I found in their military history. The Teresians evolved differently than humans. They had fewer predators on their home world, fewer resources to fight over. While humans," Kim started. "While humans spent thousands of years killing each other," Li finished. "We became very, very good at it." The three sat in silence for a moment. "Our isolation was a blessing," Choi finally said. "We developed weapons they never imagined because they never needed them." "But they think we're primitive," Kim noted. "Yes," Li smiled slightly. "Let them keep thinking that." "What do we do with this information?" Kim asked. "We keep learning," Li said. "We keep pretending to be simple, grateful humans." "And we prepare," added Choi. "I started a secret project. I'm cataloging all human military technologies the aliens don't know about. How long until they realize what we really are?" Kim wondered. Li looked grim. "Not long. The Teresians are already asking for more mining rights, more control over our resources, Soon they'll stop asking nicely. Then we need to be ready when that happens, Choi said. As they left the secure room, Kim thought about what he had learned. Aliens had feared humans long ago. Perhaps soon they would remember why. 6 months after the first alien ship arrived, the Teresians changed. They stopped being nice. Now they wanted more. Ambassador Voxer stood in front of the United Nations. His 4 arms were spread wide in what looked like friendship, but his eyes were cold. Earth has many rare minerals we need, Voxer said. We have protected you for half a year. Now you must share more of your resources with us. Diplomat Yoon-ji sat with the Korean delegation. At 45, she had spent her life making deals between countries. Now she had to make deals with aliens. What specific minerals do you require? Yoon asked calmly. Voxer showed a list on the big screen. It included most of Earth's rarest metals, lithium, cobalt, uranium, and others that humans also needed. This is a lot, said the American representative. Too much, added the Russian leader. Voxer's face hardened. Perhaps you don't understand your situation. Many dangerous species would take your planet by force. We ask only for payment for our protection. We need time to discuss this, Yoon said smoothly. Such decisions cannot be made quickly. You have 1 month, Voxer said. Then we will take what we need. After the meeting, Yoon was called to a secret location. Deep underground, world leaders had gathered. With them was General Han Ta, head of Earth's new United Defense Force. They're showing their true face now, General Han said. He was 60 with gray hair and a strong jaw. They want our resources, and they think we can't stop them. Can we? Asked the French president. Han looked grim. Not with what they've seen of our military. They believe our best weapons are the ones we've shown them. Jets, tanks, missiles. But those aren't our best, the American president said. No, Han agreed. Since they arrived, we've been hiding our most advanced technology. Our newest drones, EMP weapons, and orbital platforms. Will it be enough? Yoon asked. Maybe, Han said. Maybe not. We need more time. I can get us time, Yoon offered. But they'll want proof that we're considering their demands. The next day, the Teresians requested a meeting at their main ship. Yoon went with a small team. Have you decided to cooperate? Voxer asked. We need the full month to organize such large resource transfers, Yoon explained. Our planet's nations have complex agreements about mining rights. Voxer looked suspicious. Some of your leaders seem resistant. Yoon smiled politely. They need to be convinced of the dangers we face. Perhaps a demonstration of why we need your protection. This was a dangerous game, but Yoon knew the aliens love showing off their power. Voxer smiled. An excellent idea. 3 days later, Earth watched as Teresian ships easily destroyed old tanks, planes, and ships that humans provided for the demonstration. The aliens had energy weapons that melted metal. Their ships moved incredibly fast. Voxer looked at the human leaders after the show. Now you understand. Your weapons are toys to us. What he didn't know was that humans had learned important things from the demonstration. Choi Min and her team had secretly scanned the alien weapons. They found weaknesses. That night, General Han met with key military leaders in a secure bunker. The demonstration worked perfectly, Han said. They showed exactly what we needed to see. Their ships have no defense against certain frequencies, Choi explained, showing data on a screen. Their weapons use energy patterns we can disrupt. But they think they're invincible, a general said. Good, Han replied. Overconfidence is a weakness we can use. Deep underground, in secret bases around the world, humans prepared weapons the aliens had never seen. Weapons designed to exploit Teresian weaknesses. How long until we're ready? Han asked Choi. 2 weeks, she answered. Maybe 3. Han nodded. Let's hope Yoon can keep them talking that long. Above them, Teresian ships patrolled Earth's skies. The aliens were getting impatient. They thought humans were weak and frightened. Soon, they would learn how wrong they were. Choi Min hadn't slept in 3 days. Her lab was deep underground, safe from alien scans. Parts of Teresian weapons were spread across her tables. 20 engineers worked around her, testing and studying. "Look at this," she said to Dr. Kim Jun, who had come to check on their progress. She pointed to a small device that glowed blue. "This is their main power source. It's amazing technology for space travel, But what?" Kim asked. "But it has a fatal flaw." Choi touched a button, and a small pulse made the blue light flicker. "Their energy shields can't block certain electromagnetic frequencies. Frequencies we mastered 50 years ago." Kim looked amazed. "You're saying we can shut down their ships?" "Not just their ships," Choi said with a tired smile. "Their weapons, their communications, everything." She led Kim to another table with alien armor. "This material stops energy weapons and high-velocity bullets, but it melts at temperatures we can easily create with thermite. And it shatters when hit with sonic pulses at the right frequency." How did they miss these weaknesses? Kim wondered. "Because they evolved differently," Choi explained. "Think about it. Humans spent thousands of years finding better ways to kill each other. We went from spears to nuclear bombs in just a few centuries." She pulled up data on a screen. The Teresians had few wars on their home planet. They focused on space travel and medicine instead of weapons. When they did fight other species, they won through numbers and basic technology, not military innovation. Kim thought about this. "So while we were isolated, we were becoming the most dangerous species in the galaxy," Choi finished. "Not because we're stronger or smarter, but because we never stopped preparing for the next war." At that moment, General Han entered the lab. With him was Captain Park Sang, just back from the Galactic Council station. "Sir," Choi stood straight. "We've made breakthroughs." "Good," Han said. "Because our time is running out. The Teresians are getting suspicious of our delays." Park looked at the alien technology on the tables. "I have information from my contact, Nilara. The Teresians have done this before. Shown off their power, made demands, then taken over planets that didn't comply." "Do they know we're preparing?" Kim asked. "They know something is happening," Park said. "But they're too proud to believe we could be a real threat." Han turned to Choi. "How soon can your countermeasures be ready?" 5 days, she said confidently. "We've already started production of EMP weapons tuned to their frequencies. Our stealth drones can carry them right up to their ships without being detected." "What about their ground forces?" Han asked. Choi smiled slightly. "Even easier. Their armor has no defense against certain types of tungsten-tipped rounds or our new sonic disruptors." Han nodded. "Start full production immediately." "There's one more thing," Kim said. "I've been thinking about Lee's discovery, that Earth was quarantined thousands of years ago because aliens feared human violence." "What about it?" Han asked. "I think we should tell the Galactic Council," Kim suggested. "Not the Teresians, but the other species. Show them that humans were considered dangerous long before we had modern technology." "A psychological weapon," Park understood. "Make them uncertain about what we might be capable of." "Exactly," Kim nodded. "And I think we should show them more than just our words." "What do you mean?" Han asked. Kim took a deep breath. "I think it's time to show them the vault." The room went silent. The vault was Earth's most closely guarded secret, a massive underground facility where examples of every weapon humans had ever created were stored and preserved. "Are you sure?" Han looked concerned. "Once they see what's in there, they'll never look at humans the same way again," Kim finished. "That's exactly what we need." As they talked, a message came in from diplomat Yunji. The Teresians had lost patience. They were demanding access to Earth's mining sites within 3 days, or they would begin what they called protective occupation. "We're out of time," Han said grimly. "Prepare the vault for visitors. And get those weapons ready. The humans looked at each other. The time for pretending to be weak was over. Dr. Kim Jun made a bold request to the Galactic Council. He asked for representatives from 5 major alien species to visit Earth for an important cultural exchange. He did not invite the Teresians. 2 days later, 5 alien diplomats arrived in special ships. Among them was Nilara, Captain Park's friend. The Teresians were angry about this secret meeting, but could not stop it without looking bad to the council. "Welcome to Earth," Kim said to the aliens as they landed in Colorado, USA. "We have something important to show you." The aliens followed him to a mountain. Armed soldiers stood guard. Large metal doors opened in the mountainside. They entered a long tunnel going deep underground. "What is this place?" asked a tall, green alien diplomat. "We call it the Global Weapons Archive," Kim explained. "But most humans call it the Vault." The tunnel ended at another set of heavy doors. Signs warned of high security. Cameras watched everywhere. The doors opened slowly. Inside was a giant room, bigger than 5 football fields. It stretched so far that the aliens couldn't see the end. The ceiling was 30 feet high, and filling this massive space were weapons. Thousands and thousands of weapons. "What is this?" asked an alien with blue tentacles. "This is human history," Kim said simply. The aliens followed Kim down the main aisle. The weapons were organized by time period. They started with the oldest. "These are from our early days," Kim explained, pointing to stone axes, spears, and arrows. Simple tools for hunting that became our first weapons. They moved forward in time, passing swords, shields, and armor from different cultures. "Every human civilization created new ways to fight," Kim continued. "We had thousands of wars among ourselves." The aliens looked uncomfortable as they saw the increasing deadliness of each section. "These are from 500 years ago." Kim showed them early guns, cannons, and bombs. "This is when our weapons began to use chemistry and physics instead of just muscle power." A red alien with 6 eyes looked shocked. "Your people used these on each other?" Kim nodded. "We fought constantly. Each war led to better weapons." They continued walking. The weapons became more modern. Machine guns, tanks, planes, missiles. "These are from our world wars," Kim said. "Global conflicts that killed millions." The aliens were silent now, their earlier mockery gone. Then they reached the nuclear weapons section. Models of bombs that could destroy entire cities were displayed behind thick glass. "You created these?" Nilara whispered. "Yes," Kim said, "and used them. Twice." The aliens looked at each other with new expressions: concern, fear, and growing respect. But Kim kept walking. "That was just our past," he said. "Now I'll show you our present." The final section of the vault was different. Here, the weapons looked strange even to human eyes. There were sleek drones smaller than a fingernail, rifles that fired rounds at impossible speeds, devices that emitted invisible pulses. "This is our current technology," Kim explained. "Most of it has never been used in war. We hope it never will be." He pointed to a small device in a case. "This can disable electronics from a mile away." Then he showed them a tiny drone. "This can enter any building undetected and deliver targeted chemicals." The aliens were completely silent now. "Why show us this?" Nilara finally asked. "Because the Teresians think humans are weak," Kim answered. "They've seen only what we wanted them to see. They plan to take our planet by force in one day." He looked at each alien diplomat. "We don't want war. We want fair treatment in the Galactic Council. But if the Teresians attack us, they will learn what humans can really do." The blue alien spoke nervously. "These weapons, they could work against Teresian technology." "Yes," Kim said simply. "And we have already built many of them." As they left the vault, the alien diplomats looked at Earth with new eyes. They had come thinking humans were primitive. They left knowing humans were dangerous. That evening, the Teresian ambassador received an urgent message from the Galactic Council. It ordered him to delay any action against Earth until further notice. Voxer was confused. What had changed? What had the humans shown the Council? He would find out soon enough. Ambassador Voxer was angry. The other aliens had seen something on Earth that changed their minds about humans. Now the Galactic Council wanted him to wait before taking Earth's resources. But Voxer had made promises to his leaders. He needed those minerals. "We cannot delay," he told his commanders on their main ship. "We will take what we need now." The Teresian ships prepared for action. They would show humans and the Galactic Council the true power of the Teresian Empire. On Earth, General Han received the warning from Nilara. The Teresians are planning an attack despite the Council's order, she told him through a secure channel. They will not wait. Han called the world leaders immediately. "It's time," he said simply. Captain Park Sang stood before a small team of 20 soldiers. They wore strange black uniforms that seemed to swallow light. "Today we show the Teresians who humans really are," Park told them. "Each of you has trained with our new weapons. Each of you knows what to do." Park's team boarded small ships that didn't look military at all. They looked like regular transport ships. But inside, they carried the weapons Choi Min had created. Above Earth, the Teresian fleet gathered. 50 ships, each bigger than anything humans had built. Their weapons could destroy cities. Their shields could stop missiles. At least, that's what the Teresians believed. "Attention Earth governments." Voxer's voice came through all communication channels. "We are taking control of your mining operations now. Any resistance will be met with force." General Han's voice replied calmly, "We wish to discuss this matter peacefully. We propose a simple military exercise to demonstrate why such action is unnecessary." Voxer laughed. "A military exercise? With your primitive weapons? Very well. It will show your people why resistance is pointless." This was exactly what Han wanted. A chance to show Earth's true power without starting a full war. The Teresians agreed to a demonstration. One of their cruisers would face a small human force. The Galactic Council would watch via special broadcasts. The Teresian cruiser hung in space, massive and powerful. It could hold 1,000 soldiers and destroy small cities with one blast from its main cannon. Park's 5 small ships approached it slowly. The Teresians scanned them and detected no serious weapons. Their sensors showed only basic metal hulls and small engines. "These are the champions Earth sends." The Teresian captain mocked over the communication channel. "We will try not to destroy them too quickly." Park smiled. The Teresian sensors couldn't detect their true weapons because these weapons use technologies the aliens had never imagined. "Begin the exercise," ordered the Teresian captain. Park pressed a button. From each human ship, tiny drones no bigger than insects launched silently. They were invisible to Teresian sensors. Thousands of them flew toward the giant cruiser. "Why do you not move?" asked the Teresian captain, confused by the human ships just sitting there. "We are preparing our attack," Park replied calmly. The drones reached the Teresian ship and attached to its hull. Each carried a small EMP device, tuned to the exact frequency of Teresian technology. "Now," Park said quietly. All the drones activated at once. A pulse of energy, invisible to the eye, washed over the Teresian cruiser. Inside the alien ship, everything went dark. Their engines died. Their weapons went silent. Their shields vanished. Even their emergency systems failed. The Teresian captain's voice came through, now panicked. "What is happening? What have you done?" Park's ships moved forward. His soldiers, wearing the special black suits, boarded the dead Teresian cruiser. The aliens tried to fight back with hand weapons, but these too had been disabled by the pulse. In less than 5 minutes, Park's team had control of the entire ship. Not one shot had been fired. Not one person had died. Park stood on the bridge of the captured cruiser. He opened a channel to all ships, including the watching Galactic Council. "The demonstration is complete," he said simply. Earth is not defenseless. Earth is not primitive. Earth wants peace, but we are ready for war. Through the windows, he could see the other Teresian ships backing away slowly. They had finally learned to fear humans. 3 days after the demonstration, the Galactic Council called an emergency meeting. For the first time, humans were invited as full participants, not just observers. Diplomat Yoon-ji led the Earth delegation. With her were Dr. Kim Jun, Captain Park Sang, and military historian Lee Hyun. They sat at a large round table with representatives from 12 alien species. The Teresian ambassador, Voxer, was there too, but he no longer looked proud. His ship was still being held by humans. His empire had lost face. This meeting will address the status of Earth in the galactic community, announced the council leader, a tall being with golden skin. Recent events have caused us to reconsider our understanding of humans. Yoon spoke first. Her voice was calm and strong. Earth wants peace. We wish to join the galactic community as equals, not as a protected planet. Equals. Voxer interrupted. You have existed in space for less than a year. The Teresian Empire has traveled the stars for 10,000 years. And yet, Yoon replied smoothly, our ships captured yours without firing a single shot. The room went quiet. The other aliens looked uncomfortable. We have reviewed the records of your demonstration, the council leader said. Most impressive, but also concerning. A species with your military focus presents certain risks. Lee Hyun stood up. This was why he had come, to explain human history. You fear us because we created weapons, Lee said, but you should understand why. He touched a screen, and images appeared showing Earth's past. Humans fought each other because we had to survive on a challenging planet. Lee explained. We faced ice ages, predators, natural disasters. We competed for limited resources. He showed more images, early humans hunting together, building shelters, farming. Yes, we created weapons, but we also created art, music, and literature. We built cities and cured diseases. War pushed our technology forward, but peace was always our goal. The aliens listened carefully now. Many had never heard this perspective. We don't want to conquer anyone, Lee finished, but we will defend ourselves. The council discussed among themselves in their own languages. Then the leader turned back to the humans. What do you propose, Earth delegation? Yoon stood again. This was the moment she had prepared for. We propose a new type of relationship, she said. Not protection, but partnership. Earth will share some of our resources, as all council members do. In return, we want fair access to galactic trade and technology. And what about your weapons? A blue alien asked nervously. We will not share weapons technology that could destabilize peace, Yoon promised. But we will help develop better defenses for all peaceful worlds. The council seemed satisfied with this answer, but Voxer was not ready to give up. The humans used trickery, he said loudly. They hid their true capabilities from us. Just as you hid your true intentions from us, Kim replied calmly. You came as friends but planned to take our resources all along. Voxer stood up angrily. This insult cannot stand. The Teresian Empire demands. The Teresian Empire, interrupted the council leader firmly, will respect the council's decision. Voxer sat down, his four hands clenched in anger. While the council voted on Earth's proposal, Lee noticed something strange happening near the door. 3 Teresian guards were setting up a small device. Lee had studied enough alien technology to recognize a weapon. They're planning something, he whispered to Park. Park saw it too. The device was aimed at the Earth delegation. It would activate any second. Park moved quickly but calmly. He took a small pen from his pocket. Actually a sonic disruptor tuned to Teresian technology. He clicked it once. The Teresian device sparked and went dead. The guards looked confused. The council leader noticed the commotion. Guards rushed to detain the Teresians. It seems, the leader said, looking at Voxer, that some are not ready for peace. Voxer was taken away by Council security. The remaining Teresians looked embarrassed. The Council voted unanimously to accept Earth's proposal. As the meeting ended, Nilera approached the humans. "You knew they would try something," she said to Lee. He nodded. Throughout history, declining powers often make desperate moves. We were prepared. "I think," Nilera said with a smile, "the galaxy will be very different with humans in it." Lee looked at his colleagues, Kim the diplomat, Yoon the negotiator, Park the soldier. Each had played their part perfectly. Yes, Lee agreed. Very different indeed. 6 months after the Galactic Council meeting, Earth had changed. Alien ships now visited openly. Humans traveled to space stations and other worlds. The fear and mockery were gone, replaced by careful respect. General Han Ta stood in a large training room at the New Earth Defense Academy. Before him were 50 students, 20 humans, and 30 aliens from different species. "Today we begin your training in combined tactics," Han told them. "Each species has different strengths. Together, we are stronger than alone." This was Han's new mission, teaching aliens and humans to work together for defense. Many worlds had asked for human military expertise after seeing what Earth could do. In another part of the academy, Engineer Choi Min led a group through a laboratory. Scientists from 7 worlds worked together on new technology. This project combines Teresian energy systems with human electromagnetic shielding. Choi explained, showing them a glowing device. It will power cities more efficiently than either technology alone. Choi no longer built only weapons. Now she created new technologies by combining human and alien ideas. Her team had already developed better medical devices, cleaner energy, and safer space travel. Dr. Kim Jun walked through a busy market in Seoul. Alien visitors shopped alongside humans. Children played with alien children, learning each other's games. Kim's phone rang. It was the president. "The cultural exchange program is working well," Kim reported. 50 human teachers are now on other worlds, and we have alien teachers in schools across Earth. "Excellent," said the president. "The council votes tomorrow on the new protection treaty. We need to show that humans can be more than warriors." Kim looked around at the peaceful scene. "I think we're proving that every day." Meanwhile, Captain Park Sang and Nilera stood on the bridge of a massive ship in Earth orbit. It was Earth's first true interstellar warship, named Peacekeeper. "She's beautiful," Nilera said, looking at the sleek design. "And powerful," Park added, "but not built for conquest." The ship carried the best human and alien technology. It was designed to protect trading routes and respond to emergencies throughout the galaxy. "Do you remember when we first met at the space station?" Nilera asked. "You were trying not to look impressed by alien technology." Park laughed. "And you were trying to warn me without getting in trouble. I never imagined it would end like this," Nilera admitted. "Most species that join the council spend centuries catching up to the others." "Most species don't have our history," Park said. "For better or worse, preparing for war drove human innovation faster than peace would have." They watched as smaller ships moved around the Peacekeeper. Some were human, others alien. All worked together smoothly. "The Teresian Empire has been quiet lately," Nilera noted. "They're still rebuilding their reputation," Park said. "The new leadership seems wiser than Voxer was." After Voxer's failed attack at the council meeting, the Teresian government had replaced him with leaders who respected human capabilities. On Earth, in the vault beneath the mountain, Lee Hyun guided a group of human and alien historians through the weapon displays. "We keep these as a reminder," Lee told them, "of what we were, what we are, and what we might become." A young alien student raised her hand. "Will there be more weapons added here?" Lee considered the question. "Some, yes, but we hope to add more tools than weapons in the future. Technology that builds rather than destroys." That evening, the original team that had faced the Teresian threat gathered for dinner at Kim's home. Han, Choi, Park, Yoon, and Lee sat around a table with food from Earth and other worlds. "To think," Yoon said, raising her glass, "just 1 year ago we were pretending to be helpless while aliens mocked us. And now they're studying our history and tactics." Han added, "Was it worth revealing our secrets?" Choi asked. Kim looked at his friends. Each had played a crucial role in Earth's new position in the galaxy. "I think so," he said. "We showed them our weapons so we wouldn't have to use them." Lee raised his glass higher, to humanity's place among the stars. Not as conquerors or servants, but as equals. They all drank to that. Outside, the night sky was filled with stars and distant ships. The galaxy had changed forever, and it would never mock humans again.